and welcome to the Learn Faster Online podcast. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about goal setting, and one of the main reasons, if the number one reason really, that you don't actually achieve your goals. So let's go. So it's now 2022, and the new year is an absolute reality. There are millions of people who have made New Year's resolutions, also known as goal setting, and swear by all that's holy that things relating to health, wealth, family, relationships, job, etc. will be oh so different this year. The goal setting theory is that starting this year, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do all the things I didn't do last year, and you know how the rest of the story pans out. It usually goes totally tits up. Truth is that most of these self-promises will be dead and buried well before January's out, and the same excuses will be trundled out just as they were the year previous and previous to that and previous to that and so on and so forth. Most likely, the people who made those promises to themselves, who set those goal targets, totally believed them at the time and had every intention of seeing them through. Question to you is, are you one of those people? Problem comes when the first temptation arises and the thought of having just another 5 minutes of sleep bliss that actually turns into about 30 minutes plus batters your will to get up into submission. That's when accountability is the only thing that can save you from yet another broken resolution, another incomplete, unfinished goal. And that's when accountability is the only thing that can save you from yet another broken resolution, another broken self-promise. So what does that mean? It means that you're having to look at yourself in the mirror and realize that even at this early stage, the abs you wanted, or the bikini body, or the book you wanted to write, or the language you wanted to learn, are already fading into the land of broken dreams. The good news is, this doesn't have to happen. It can be totally avoided, and all you have to do is to banish the spectre of resolution failure as allow yourself to be held accountable. Now, accountability versus responsibility. So when only you know what you want to achieve, what you've told yourself you're going to achieve, you can easily duck out at any stage. Why? Well, because you're responsible only to yourself. However, when you have someone else holding you accountable for the actions you've committed to, it's an entirely different ball game. Oh, and by the way, the more people that know as in what you said you were going to do, the better and the more chance you'll have of actually achieving those goal targets. Let me give you 2 examples of how accountability has worked for me. In May 2016, I stood up in a breakfast business meeting and announced I was going to write a new book. I said it would take me 6 weeks to write and publish the book, and in the 7th week, it would hold a #1 spot on Amazon for the categories I'd listed it in. That got a lot of people's attention and a few looks of disbelief. I also did exactly the same in several other business networking events where I was known, and generally I told as many people as I possibly could. So that done, there's no going back, no making excuses, because the people who knew me would have very nicely torn me to shreds, and there were hundreds of people that by now knew about my goal. Long story short, I wrote the book, all 120 pages, got the cover design, uploaded to Amazon, and then with a lot of frenzied marketing, reached the #1 spot in the UK and the USA in the time period I said I would do it in. Now, had I not held myself accountable to those people, I doubt I would have hit my deadline and worked as hard as I did to make sure it happened. I would have found some excuse, no matter what it would have been, but there would have been something, I think. So that's the first instance. And then there was that day, remember it well, in October. So in October 2021, I happened to see a post, I think it was on Instagram, for a challenge to raise money for teenage cancer. Now, looking closer, the challenge was to do 3,000 sponsored push-ups in November. So, despite not having done push-ups for some 30 odd years, and in the process of waiting for surgery on both my big toes, and a few other bits and pieces, I decided to sign up. Now, it would have been easy for me to sort of give it a go, and if it didn't work out, slip quietly out the back door, so to speak. However, I chose to announce my intentions on my Facebook profile, so it was 2,500 plus, I think, friends on Facebook, and I put up almost daily story posts on my progress. The point is, I told everybody what I'd signed up to do, and yep, people sponsored me. So I had to do it, no other choice. Now that is the power of accountability. When only you know, it's easy to pretend circumstances aren't just right. You'll come back and do it a bit later, some other priorities come up, yada, 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 yada. So when other people know and will hold you to what you said you'd do and will actually check in on you to see how you're progressing and give you a kick up the arse if you need it, that's when shit gets done. So that's just a couple of the reasons I believe that accountability is the missing ingredient, the number one ingredient to most goal setting and people achieving what they want, their goals, their dreams, maybe even their full potential, who knows. So don't lock your dreams inside your head. Give somebody else a key so they can help you. Then you just get up, show up, do some, get done, and feel good, because job's done. See you next time.